Hi, I'm the CourtJester, and with me tonight is a very special guest. Please welcome the lovely, the glorious Lotus Moon. Thank you for having us on the show tonight, Miss Moon.
I'm happy to be here, and you give me far too much praise.
And you put yourself down far too much. You are a talent, my dear.
Oh, don't put me on a pedestal. If you do, I'm gonna start going crazy.
Hey, I've been living that way for years, so. Now, we have got a select few questions from some of your subscribers who have been dying to know the answers. Are you ready?
Yep.
Alrighty. Rocky3, 16 asks, how do you get along with this Coppa nonsense so far? And also, can you do more comic dubs and such?
Sort of Coppa thing. Oh, I freaked out about that in the beginning. Like, I did see a lot of people telling me not to worry about it and telling me different things about it since I wasn't exactly well informed on it, really. Like, I got so much conflicting information, I didn't know what was true and what wasn't. So now I pretty much have my channel as not child friendly, even though I do have child friendly content. I, when uploading videos, of course, mark my videos appropriately. Um, when I release readings that I know may be disturbing or have some 18 plus content, I do have disclaimers for both. And I do apologize for the background noise. Anyway, if it comes through.
It's fine.
Anyway, what else? But yeah, I mark my videos appropriately. I have disclaimers in place for anything that may need it. And so I am faring pretty well with the whole Coppa thing, and I'm basically just trying not to like get on their radar. As for comic dubs, yes, I can do more. In fact, um if you all like my Pony Simulator comics, I do have one more in the works. I just need the voices for the characters for it. Um,
Well, I'm sure the
I
fans will be looking forward to that.
I do have some reserve comics. Like I did ask the creators if I could do this, like their webtoon comics. So that's going to be coming as soon as I can finish the editing for them. I'm just waiting on a couple of things.
Alright.
And I do plan to look around for more comic dubs to do. So if you guys have any ones that you would like me to do, um, I will definitely give them a lookout and give it my best to do them, including if they may be 18 plus, because someone did ask for that a while back, and I'm debating how I should go about doing it.
Yeah. Especially if those comics have boobies in them. Ugh.
Calm down.
I'm a I'm a hormonal teenage boy. I can't calm down. Okay. uh Deathblade asks, are you gonna do more Klopvik readings?
Well, if you were around for February, my Antares and Amore month, I did a couple of clap fix, though, and I do apologize to my viewers. I did get some comments complaining that the music was a little louder than my voice, and I am taking steps to improve on that every day. But yes, I am going to do more clock fix. I don't know when I will do them. I would like to keep any future project a surprise because not even I know what I'll pick to read next. But in essence, like I said, yes, I will definitely be doing more comic dubs.
Excellent. Alright. Uh Legitman335 asks, favorite Equestria girl?
I believe I've been asked that question sometime before. Honestly,
Hmm.
I don't have one. Like, and I know I'm probably going to get some shock or maybe concern over this, maybe a little bit. Um, I did not really completely watch the first Equestria Girls movie.
The gasp!
I know. I mean, okay, I forget what year it is, but there was one year for New Year's they were doing like Discovery Kids was doing like a whole MOP marathon ending with the Equestria Girls movies. So I saw it then. So I saw Equestria Girls, Rainbow Rocks, and I think I got to Friendship Games or like the middle of Friendship Games or maybe what was the last one? Ev- the one where
Legend of Everfree.
yeah, yeah, Legend of Everfree. I think I got to like the middle of one of those two movies and then I had to leave because I had something to do that night. But those were like those had like sections cut out to like jam into the runtime that they needed for New Year's Eve and all of that. But I did not completely see the Equestria Girls movies until I got to about Legend of Everfree. That one I saw in its entirety, but the previous three I did not. Yet, ironically, I watched all of the specials in their entirety. But even with that, I can actually say I don't have a favorite Equestria Girls character.
All right
I
then.
mean, it's almost like the question I get asked, who do I think is best pony personally? I don't have an answer for that either. Well, actually, I do, but more of the male variety because I choose Sombra.
Interesting.
Hey, I'm a girl. I can't help it. He's tall, dark, and brooding.
So he's Batman. I'm dull, dark, brooding. I'm Batman. My parents are dead.
Yes, if Batman wanted to take over the world.
Wait, so does that mean this universe would that technically make Pinkie Pie the Joker?
Oh no, that is a terrifying thought, especially with the finale episodes. That small glimpse of Chaos Princess Pinkie Pie. Oh dear Celestia, no.
Oh, I love that. All right. Donnie Hummer 876 asks, "Have you seen Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker?"
Nope, I have not. In fact, I am not into Star Wars. Never have been, and frankly, I think I never will be. Safi's into it, and oh dear God, I did this to myself. We made a bet. Well, not exactly a bet, an agreement years ago. See, for me, I'm more into vampires and werewolves as I met Safi around the whole Twilight phase thing. But even after that, I was still into that, so
You were into Twilight?
I was a high schooler, sue me. I knew nothing about it until the whole my classmates asking me, was I Team Edward or Team Jacob? I had no idea what they were talking about. Then they told me about it. I started reading it. I got into it. I got the complete collection for my 16th birthday from my sister, and I still have that. I'm not burning it. It's precious to me, and I love it. Sue me, hate me if you want to. I'm not changing that. But anyway, also, I was around for the whole True Blood phase thing, and I got into that as well. So I told Safi, who's definitely not into horror or gore in any way, shape, or form, if he can sit through every season of True Blood with me, I will painstakingly sit through every Star Wars movie with him. We still have that agreement. We haven't acted on it yet because we can't since we have a long distance relationship, but we will. And oh my goodness. Even with that, I'm probably not going to get into Star Wars. That's not going to change me. The only saving grace we have is that we're both into Marvel and we could talk about any Marvel movie. So, to answer your question, like I said earlier, no, I have not seen the latest Star Wars movie, nor will I.
All right, calm yourself, Iago. This is one serious Star Wars hater right here.
it's not that I it's not that I hate Star
I know,
Wars.
I'm kidding, I'm teasing.
Yeah, basically, um I think when did the first one come out?
I
Like
think
the very first one.
I think that one came out in like 70s, 80s maybe.
Yeah, I wasn't born around that time. I wasn't born until the 90s. So, yeah, and growing up, I knew nothing about them. So, when it got to one of the movies, I can't remember which, my parents and I went to go see it. I admittedly fell asleep and woke up close to the end of it because I couldn't follow the story. I had no idea what was going on.
All right. To be honest, you're kind of
And
doing yourself.
that,
To be honest, you're
and
kind
that's
of.
lose me a couple of subscribers, probably.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you've probably you're you're probably better off. I've heard that the modern ones kind of suck. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard too, actually.
Yeah. Anyways, the Keeper of Chaos asks, "What is one thing about your channel or video you wish you could go back in time and change?"
My earlier videos, that's like the one thing I would definitely like to change. I mean, I know everyone starts out somewhere pretty rough and everything, but from like my earlier videos, if I had the information I have now and I could go back and change it, I would definitely put out better quality videos from the start. I mean, the quality wasn't bad, it's just I tried unsuccessfully many ways to try getting rid of like all the background noise because like if you go back and listen to like my earlier videos, um you hear cars and horns going by in the background and everything, and people pointed it out, and I tried looking up videos to help me out with it, like what I could do to like at least dull in that, and like it didn't really help. Like it wasn't until like maybe last year that I thought to get a sound box and everything, and thought to get like a foam cover for my microphone head and everything. So if I knew all that stuff now, including using Audacity to like help out a bit more in the audio editing process, since all I did in the beginning was just record it, slap it into my video editor to put it all together into one coherent story, export it, and then ship it off to be published on YouTube. If I took more time and effort and actually maybe reached out for help with my stuff, then yeah, that is definitely something I would change. But I'm a stubborn person in the beginning. I didn't start really asking for help until I thought to start making my stuff more of a full cast thing instead of just doing it all myself.
Yeah, I can feel that. And to be honest, I'm kind of in the same boat with my early stuff. Oh boy, my impressions were not good that back then. Anyways,
Yeah, yeah, I definitely need to work on my impressions a bit more too. And also, yeah, I still kind of need to work on asking for help because after some specific incidents with my stubbornness and getting myself too worked up, yeah, I really need to work on myself a lot more.
yeah, I believe that is what we call Applejack syndrome.
Yes, I have Applejack syndrome. Y'all can't fault me for that.
I'm gonna book all these apples by myself.
And that's exactly how I felt when I was editing Month of Macabre when I had a full cast for several stories. I'm gonna edit all these videos by myself and no one can stop me. Only for me to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah. Saw Miller Black asks, Which character of the MLP is your favorite? And I think you kind of covered that earlier, did you not?
I did. Like I said, I can't exactly pick a favorite unless I go with Sombra.
All right,
Like
then
he's
then we
the only character.
yeah, then we shall skip past that one. Sorry, Sam Miller. She's already answered it. uh, Luigi fan 4000 hashtag love Luigi asks, uh, what are your feelings and opinions about the final episodes of MLP?
Oh, I've talked about that with some friends.
Hmm.
I feel it ended on the perfect note. We got a satisfying conclusion because technically this was kind of how the show was supposed to end originally, is what I've heard. So to finally see it happen is good, and to see the flash forward is good as well because if it just ended with a coronation, that wouldn't feel right. So seeing our favorite main six later on in years, because it was never really established how old they actually were, was it?
You know, I don't think it was. Like they never really they mentioned birthdays, but they never really said, "Oh, you're now this age," or "Oh, you're these years old now." They never really said any specific numbers.
Yeah, so like I know for Equestria Girls, they're set as teenagers, but like I think I heard once that for them actually being like for the main show, they were like somewhere in their late teens, early 20s, but like we never got the confirmation about that. So to see the rest of the main six like moved on in their lives with crow's feet, properly aging, um, that's actually nice. I mean, we also got like a lot of satisfaction with like certain things. So like it's not confirmed if Rainbow Jack is a ship or if that was just like playful banter between them. We got Pinky with Cheese Sandwich and they have a child. We got of course the Fluttercord ship being slightly confirmed as we have seen twice Fluttershy with Discord and everything. So that's at least good.
Yeah.
Um, we got to see Spike aged up, but just not the way we thought we'd see it. Like I have some reservations on his aged up design. Plus, his wings are still so freaking tiny. God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved the ending because it felt so satisfying, especially well, Twilight. We of course knew would eventually take over Celestia's role and everything. So to see her with her own student was nice, though. You know, she was basically a recolored Celestia. I feel like they could have taken that a different route. Like, come on. We know Celestia and Luna have flowing hair. We didn't need to have Twilight with flowing hair because Cadence doesn't have that. So, yeah.
Then again, I don't think Cadence has lived as long as Celestia and Luna. Then again, neither has Twilight by this point. But actually, that begs the question: how much time has passed between these? Huh?
Yeah, yeah, when we see them in the epilogue episode, they look like they're pushing probably close to like late mid to late 40s, early 50s perhaps.
Yeah.
Because if we go by like Granny Smith when Applejack was still younger, Granny Smith looked like she was pushing close to 100 possibly.
Hmm.
And she lived through a lot. So
Yeah. So it really begs the question on how much time has passed. Go, hand cannon writers, to your keyboards!
actually you do have a point though in terms of asking how much time has passed because of course Twilight has, I wouldn't say she's aged up, is more like she, for Pokemon fans, evolved into basically basically evolved into Celestia because we don't see Celestia and Luna before they're rulers of Equestria unless you count the intro to the show and everything. But by then, Um, Celestia already has her multicolored hair and everything. Luna already has her starry hair.
Yeah.
We did get to see Luna before her hair became like we know it, but we never saw Celestia before her hair is multicolored and everything. Like I've seen that like people describe her as just having plain pink hair, and I don't know if that's canon or not. I think it is, but we've never seen it before. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that does the question of time is like so non-linear is practically broken. Because, like, even in the show, they don't tell how much time passes. Like, we're in winter, but we get, like, episodes of them in, like, the summer and fall, and also in winter and spring. But then we get, like in each season, we get, like, them in every season, despite the fact that we're stuck in one season. So, how much time is actually passing in this show?
Yeah, like they keep using the time frame moons, but we really don't know exactly what they mean by that. Like, do they mean like moon cycles or day full moons in a month? It's really confusing.
I always interpreted the moons thing as, as, like, a daily thing. But you do have a point. Oh, my brain is broken now.
Well, if you mean the moons, then that makes absolutely no sense if it was just once a day. Because by that logic, in Equestria Girls, they said that it would be another 30 moons until the mirror would open up again. So by that logic, Twilight would just have to wait a month until she could go back to her world.
That's what I landed on when I heard that. So I guess, well, the moon does wax and wane within the span of like what, a week,
I think
maybe.
so.
So yeah, maybe it is a week, but then like they time skip ahead so much between the seasons, we just don't exactly pay attention to it too much.
Yeah. I
We're
was
just there to enjoy it.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm finished.
Uh, I was just gonna say I always interpreted the moons to be the fact that when full moons in the month, so like there's one full moon every month, so to speak. So by that logic, the 30 moons of Equestria Girls, that would mean that the she would be waiting about 2.5 years, which is definitely a much bigger time gap, and to wait, and though there and so there would be a bit more at stake in that regard. So that's my logic, anyways.
You do have a point, but then, and I'm gonna plug in a book series that I'm reading because I do read, I don't read books often, but when I do, I read rather interesting things. And also when I'm not reading books, I'm also reading manga since I am a huge anime fan as well. But anyway, um, the whole thing with the moons thing, it kind of reminds me of the Kingdom series that I'm reading. Basically, it's 5 books about 5 fairy tale bad guys. I don't know if the Mad Hatter can be counted as a bad guy, but it includes him, Gerard, which is I think a take on Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, the Big Bad Wolf, Genie, which I guess you can count as the genie from Aladdin, and Hook from Peter Pan. Each of these men have to find their destined significant other, and they have 3 days. Like the whole book is set over the span of 3 days, or rather, in our world, 3 months, because they're not from our world. They're from a fairy tale world where literally one day in their world is a month for us. And if they don't find their destined partner and get them to fall in love with them, then they suffer some sort of consequence. So, in every book except for Gerard's, the ladies come to their world and they spend 3 days there. In Gerard's book, he comes to our world and he spends 3 months here. So that I understand, but I also like I said, it kind of like that situation kind of reminds me of MLP because you know it's a span of just 3 days, but you don't think about it that way because when they finally explain that 3 days also counts as 3 months, it just like shifts some sort of perspective. Like, so what happened in the time that you were gone? But then they don't like fully approach it. So yeah, I'm sorry if I confused anyone, but I just really love this series because all these guys are described as being hot, and I'm a girl, I can't help it. Plus, there's also a bit of a erotic aspect to the books too.
Ooh la la.
And the story isn't done because I'm also reading the sequels to them involving these guys' daughters. So, yeah,
Sounds interesting.
very.
Alright, right. Getting off topic. Okay, Ace of Chains 5 asks, what do you like most in reading the stories you come to like?
Hmm. Well, I do like them for the story, though I do think some I have trouble understanding. It's a hard question to ask because I've read so many stories. It's hard to pinpoint just excuse me. God, where did that come from? it's hard it's hard to pick just one thing out of them that I like. So I think maybe sometimes the concepts, even though like a few of them may have been done so many times, but it's always a new take on one specific topic. So it could be a different take on different emotions like love or attraction or depression, sadness, any of the emotions that we feel. Because maybe, well, as I've written for myself, maybe some of these writers are writing to reflect themselves, but just like projecting it on a different character.
Yeah, that actually does. That's actually pretty thought provoking.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've done it for myself, but more. I don't say I in my stories. I just mention my character name. Like I have written several stories where I feel where I'm so emotionally drained. I feel like really just giving up. So I put my OC in that state of mind, and then I take one of my other OC to like address it, like an observer giving a helping hand or something, like I did with my story where I introduced my OC Umbrella.
Hmm.
And then there's like a lot that I do. Sometimes I just keep it focused on my main OC Lotus Moon, or like I branch out to like get everyone else's reactions because as I stated before, I am simply one person. So the characters of Lotus Moon, Lily, Umbrella, Midnight, they're basically all me. So it's basically different aspects that I'd like to have that I feel could be centered into one character, but I'd rather separate them and have them as their own aspect of one part of me.
It's actually very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's probably not a common, well, it probably is a common thing to do, but it probably isn't. Like, I just like did my own take. Like, I just figure, well, I have one OC when sometimes I create OC out of sheer boredom, but then they're so good, I don't exactly want to just like refresh the page and get rid of them. I want to save them for something.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Miguel Alvarez asks, "How's it going?"
It's going well, it's going pretty well for me. I mean, real life stuff is pretty much getting in the way of a lot of things, but I'm doing pretty well. I got through Tristan Amore with not that big of a fuss. And I hope I can do the same thing for Nightmare Fest this year. But then again, for Nightmare Fest, I have a plan, so it shouldn't be too demanding on me this year.
All right,
At least that's my hope.
that's good to hear. I mean, you know who to turn to if you're an editor.
Oh, I probably will need some editorial help. I'm not gonna say how I'm doing Nightmare Fest this year because I want it to be a surprise.
Yes, spoilers.
For, but for everyone that will be in the know, and if you listen to this, you all know who you are. If you don't, I will remind you when the time comes. Um, you'll know what stories I picked and how I would like everything to play out. So that will definitely come down the pipes eventually. But until then, just enjoy whatever I release whenever I release it. And that's pretty much it.
Alrighty. Uh, Shadowbug18 asks, are you still going to do ASMR videos?
Yes, I do have a script in the works, and someone did approach me for an idea. And giving, well, actually, I did mention earlier that I was approached about doing a lewd comic dub. Um, okay, truth is, I do have a workaround around this. Um, so for right now, I'm sticking to safe for work ideas in terms of ASMR. And I did say someone approached me about an idea, and I'm thinking about doing that. Just don't know how I will do it yet. But since I'm going to give myself some leeway or maybe a loophole, I may do some NSFW ASMR. And if you'd like to hear them, I will definitely most likely post links to that on my Patreon, um, which is still active. Um, I just need to like figure out a better time to plug it in than now because just bringing it up out of the blue is like,
Yeah.
weird. But yeah, I do plan to do more ASMR videos, so look forward to that. I'm in the midst of finishing a more current script because it's like I'm doing it by myself, so like I have like I want to like be able to like I keep saying like a lot. My goodness, I want to be able to figure out how it should go in terms of like one linear video.
Alright, that makes sense. Okay. Wilhelm Klink asks, would you like to voice Jesse the Green H2 Atlanta Tender Engine and Thomas and the Little Mermaid Adventures The Adventure Begins the movie? What the fuck did I just read?
Huh?
I have absolutely no clue what. um.
What? 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 I have, what is this? What is that?
I have no
What?
clue.
I'm so confused right now. What is that?
I have no idea. I don't question the questions. I just ask them.
I don't. I don't. I don't know how to answer that.
Uh, let me answer for her. She'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, Bread Knight asks, are you planning to do a face reveal?
I've done several face reveals. I mean, yeah, I've done several face reveals. Just because I can and because I kind of wanted to for whenever I did them. But if you'd like me to do a face reveal, then um You know what? I'll pick out a pretty flattering picture of myself and you'll just basically see it up on the screen. There.
I'm sure that'll be coming up in post.
Yep, it will.
Alright. And that seems to be everything. Well, thank you very much for joining me on this little escapade with me, Lotus. It was a very honor doing this interview with you.
It was a confusing interview at the end.
It really was.
Any questions you have for me?
Hmm. Well, if you simply must know, I guess. I got nothing.
Well, I guess I can say a little bit more. I kind of have started doing podcasting a bit, not really, but kind of. I'm not doing it like over Twitch or like doing it like recording it and like posting up somewhere like where you can get it like on the Apple Store or Google Store for like podcasts and everything. No, I'm using two different apps. One is called Spoon, which I'm still getting the hang of, and the other is called Tin Can. So if any of you have like accounts on either one of those, I'm more active on Tin Can than I am on Spoon because, like I said, I am still trying to get the hang of it. I go under the name Aya Runner. That's AIYA Runner. Um, and I go under that name instead of Lotus Moon because I basically put everything under Lotus Moon. But Aya Runner is actually the name of my OC from some of the stories that Safi makes that he writes. And that's technically the name I have had for years because um when we first met, we kind of started doing a role play story together about a human who finds a mermaid. Not really like Little Mermaid style, but just like maybe our own spin on that kind of. And that's the name I gave myself because his name for his character is Damien Runner, and of course, since I have his last name, that means our characters are married. Um so yeah, so I pay homage to that character using that name. And of course, Safi and I have secondary OC for our characters with those names. Um, his is an Earth Pony, and he made me. Safi, if you're listening to this, you can correct me in the comments. I believe he made me a Hippogriff Pony hybrid. I mean, it already technically is a hybrid, but um, that's pretty much the character he made for me, and we're always kind of making changes to like my OC in various ways. So yeah, I pay homage. I have the name Aya Runner on both of those apps. So like, if you're ever interested to listen to me talk about stuff outside of MLP, because I do talk about anime and manga as well, then yeah, feel free to check me out there. And I guess if you want to hear me talk about it on my YouTube channel, then I'll definitely do it. I have like a lot of stuff that I'm watching and reading since I watch anime and also read the manga counterparts for the anime as well, or just read manga that don't have an anime to it as of yet.
Very interesting. I will definitely have to take a look into these apps and see if I can find you.
I mean, I do have an anime related YouTube channel as well under the name Luna Noir, but I haven't updated it in months now. So there's also that. Plus, I tend to just give everything away, so maybe it's fine that I don't talk about it. I mean, I do restrain myself from getting into spoilers, but sometimes I can't. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe sometimes it's better to cut your losses.
Well, I do restrain myself from my podcast. Like I could go in depth and like give spoilers, but no, for the podcast I just basically give like recommendations and my opinions on stuff, and I refrain from giving spoilers. So like I'll say what the anime or manga or both is titled, who created the manga, if it has the manga counterpart, because like a lot of the anime out now are basically based off like video games and don't have a manga counterpart to them at all. And some of them are basically, well, 90% of them are manga that became anime, but of course the anime doesn't keep up with the full source. So I say who made it, the company that published the manga, who directed the anime version of it, and what studio is doing the anime, as well as like basically a synopsis of the material. So I refrain from spoilers as much as I possibly can. So like I am getting better. But when it comes to me and Safi talking about stuff, yeah, full on spoilers, because some stuff I know he's definitely not going to read. Or like I said, he's not into gore and violence like I am, and I'm mostly into it like via anime. And yet ironically, I can say this, yet I cannot bring myself to look at anything by Junji Ito.
Who?
Junji Ito is basically the, I don't want to say king of gore, but in my mind, he is the king of absolute sheer terror in horror anime. Like a lot of his stuff is very disturbing. There's even an anime to some of his works. It didn't go over very well, but even I couldn't finish it because I got to an episode where there was a case of trypophobia, and I have a very skin crawling reaction to that, to the point where I was actually scratching myself for days after watching the episode. So it was at that point I stopped. Like it was so disturbing, I couldn't finish it.
Yeah, that's fair. To be honest,
Yeah,
if he did an
so
episode on arachnophobia, I would probably just throw my remote at the TV screen. I hate,
I
I
I
hate spiders. Like I absolutely despise them.
yeah, I don't know if there was an episode like that, because like I said, I stopped at the trypophobia one, and I think that was like the middle of it. So like yeah, I never went back and finished it, and I don't think I have any plans to, because oh my goodness. And I've seen people do comic dubs of it, of his works. I can I guess digest that a little bit, so long as I watch something of a palate cleanser after that. But no, for any of Junji Ito's works, I physically cannot do it. And I've read some pretty disturbing stuff in terms of manga occasionally.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm currently reading something like that right now, but it's not so bad that I can't handle it.
Alright, that's good.
And I guess since we've veered so far off, well, not off topic since the interview was finished, I guess this is a good place to stop.
Alright, why don't you go ahead and do your outro?
Well, I do hope you all enjoyed this. You've had a little peek into my life, and I'm sorry if I have shocked or outraged a few of you. But you're the ones that asked the questions. I simply gave my honest answers. As I said, I do hope you enjoyed this, and thank you so much, CourtJester, for interviewing me.
Well, thank you very much for having me as your interviewer person.
Shoot. Anyway, I am Lotus Moon, and I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, night, evening, or night wherever you are, every pony. Good night.
Laters!
Support me on Patreon and Ko-fi. Links in the description. Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe. Good night, every pony.